Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kauaʻi County Council wrap-up. This is Council Chairman Rapozo, Vice Chair Councilmember Kipukai, Kualiʻi, and short agenda, long day. Let's get started. We started off with a couple of certificates today. First one to the Rotary Club of Kauaʻi, giving them a lot of mahalos for the hosting and taking care of the Lights on Rice Parade, which was a huge success. So that went quite well. A lot of nice words and appreciation for an event that has become a real big thing for the island of Kauaʻi. Not just Lihui, not just Rice Street, the entire island comes to Lihui to celebrate. And so it was a huge mahalo to them. And after that, we had the
Waimea High School varsity football team for winning their second year state championship, Division II.
In a row.
State champions, consecutive. So yeah, when I walked in the chamber this morning, the chamber was filled, So the whole team was there, the coaches. It was really great to hear from them and the input and mana'o from different council members like Councilmember Kagawa and Councilmember DeCosta, their West Side connections, and former Menehune from Waimea High School as well. We took quite a while because we heard from all of them, and it was nice. It was really, really nice. So nice to hear from the coaches about how they built their foundation for their team. And it was way more than football, but they built it on family and on love and on, supporting each other, and the coaches inspiring the boys to do well at everything in life, not just football, and to do well in school and all of that. So it was a really nice certificate. Good feelings for everybody involved.
I got to tell you, man, it was, we all saw, I've known Coach Kylie knows for a long time, and that was the first time I think I heard him actually speak about his team. I shouldn't say that. I heard him speak last year after they won the championship last year, and this is their second year in a row. But the fact that he was willing to share about and he got emotional. He got very emotional because he loves these kids so much. And that entire staff, including his wife, not being ashamed to say that their team is based around love. It was just something that we all needed to hear, I think. So it was a great way to start the day. Two real good positive items. And then we had an issue on Avava Road out there in Hanapepe.
We started with our Public Works and Veterans Services Committee.
Correct.
So
Thank you. And so there's been an issue out there on Avava Road in Hanapepe in the valley, and it's been a road that has been overgrown, and trees on state land that has been encroaching over onto the county right away, across the county highway, county roadway, and into people's properties. A few council members have raised these concerns with our county administration, with the DLNR, with the state, and with KIUC. So finally, because nothing has been done, Councilmember Kagawa put it on the agenda, so we got to hear from the county, the state, and KIUC, which, by the way, KIUC has absolutely no obligation to cut trees that are not in their right-of-way or their easement. So it really is an issue that is the state's issue because the tree is on state land, and it's affecting one of our residents. So I'll let you start, Kipukai. I don't know what you thought about it, because your closing comments, I thought, were spot on.
Councilmember Kagawa shared with us the pictures, and so the pictures tell the story, and it was troubling to see how overgrown these trees were and how unsafe they were. So it was, of course, troubling, and I think Chair was very passionate too, and let him have it more or less. That something needs to be done, and that we couldn't have the county putting it on the state putting on the county, and and saying, oh, we're going to study it more and bring in the engineers. But that something had to be done immediately. So I'm at the end of the meeting when I made my small statement, I was just basically saying, do something now. Yeah, we may need to do bigger things later, but do the small things first and just act now, and the Public Works and DLNR needs to get together and figure that out and let us know, because we want to see some action. We want response. We want to know what they're doing and when they're doing it. You know.
This is the bottom line. When a constituent calls the county or the state or any government entity about an issue, then that respective government agency should respond and deal with the situation. This has been going on for years, and it's been a back and forth. No, it's state, no, it's county, blah, 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 blah. And all I said was this: it should not take an issue to get to the council floor to get our agencies to do their job. It should not take the council member's letter to an agency to do their job. The constituent's call should be sufficient because the constituent deserves to get the services that they paid for. It's that simple. You get a call, I don't care what department, I don't care if you're government, state, federal, local. If you get a call from a constituent said, I got a pothole in front of my house, send a crew, go fill the pothole. If you got a tree that's encroaching onto your property so much that your house cannot get insured, send the guys out there to go cut the tree. I don't get it. It was frustrating for me, coming off of the extremely positive certificate presentations we had, and then coming to have to deal with agencies that are just not being responsive to the constituents was not satisfying for me. So we will see.
So lack of the basic preventative maintenance, definitely a public safety concern. And then they talked about being on notice. Well, we had a public meeting, council meeting, so now we're all on notice, so we have to take action.
We'll provide an update when it happens. We'll see what happens. Councilmember Cowden requested the county engineer to be here to provide us a briefing. The landfill, we all know about the landfill. It's gonna close up real soon, and we are looking at siting a new landfill as well as extending the existing landfill. That required a permit, a request for an extension of a deadline on a BLNR permit because the landfill sits on DLNR land. And there were some conditions applied to that when they got the permit extension. So Councilmember Cowden had asked, so we had our Public Works Solid Waste Division up, Allison Fraley and Troy Tanigawa, to come up and share a little bit about the extension of the permit. So, I mean,
Public Works did get the approval from the board, BLNR, to construct cell 3, and it must be completed before 8/24/31. The BLNR made some recommendations, not conditions, but recommendations and requests to basically curbside recycling, developing a materials recovery facility, MRF, and then developing a goal of 50% diversion rate by 2030. I did at the end of the meeting say I agreed with that as far as developing the goal of 50% diversion rate, and that would be, has asked staff to begin working on a resolution for me. Maybe I'll ask Chair to co-introduce it with me, assuming that I was the first to request that. And then as far as testimony, we heard from former Mayor Joanne Kimura, who talked about we should look into, she suggested a construction demolition debris ban at the landfill. And so I agree, I mentioned too that I would look into that. And I don't know if I'll introduce the bill or not, but at least, and I asked Allison on the floor to work with me as well, and she said she would. So.
yeah, and the construction demolition ban won't work unless we have a location where these people can take their construction debris to. So, again, as I said at the end of the meeting, I'm very concerned about this whole landfill issue. I don't think the administration is as concerned and set it as a priority, because the report we had today was kind of similar to the report we had last year, early in the year, and then we did an update. There needs to be a sense of urgency in this issue because the landfill is going to fill up before we will have a solution. We can talk recycling, we can talk all of these different things, materials recovery facilities and all of these things, but at the end of the day, we are going to run out of time. And the county is also looking at waste to energy as an alternative. However, that wasn't mentioned in today's presentation. So I asked the planning, Public Works, are you still pursuing that? Because it's not even anywhere in today's presentation, and they said that they are. But you know, it's an issue that we have to put our attention and focus and energy in, and we need to get resolution ASAP because we are running out of space. And I am very concerned as to what will happen once the Kekaha landfill fills up.
Yeah.
I am, you know, that was my biggest fear. You know, when we ran for this year's election, all of the media would ask, "What's your top issue?" And I told them the landfill. You know, everyone else pretty much said affordable housing. I think the landfill is a bigger issue right now because the consequence is huge, and I can only hope that because many of the council members agree that we got to really push the pedal on this one because we got to get it done.
We can't site and build the next landfill in time before this landfill runs out. That's why too, this expansion is like our only option at this point.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, to put in cell 3 to buy us more time, basically, and hopefully enough time that we can get the next landfill in place or an alternative. You know.
And I think the curbside recycling discussion must continue. It does cost money. We understand that, but we put ourselves in this position now. We gotta get out of it. Curbside recycling, in my opinion, while it is costly, if done properly, and we're able to make it convenient for all of you to toss your reusables, recyclables into one can in the trash, I think that is almost a necessity at this point to extend the life, even if it's a little bit. We got to do it. And then finally, we had I thought it was pretty entertaining. I really enjoyed the discussion with Kirk Deichman from Makai Watch. It's a state program, a DLNR program. Maka'ala Kaumoana, the executive director from the Honolulu Watershed Hui, and Chris Gandeza from DLNR, one of the supervisors at the enforcement area. And they came to chat with us about Makai Watch.
Yeah.
Awesome presentation.
Yeah, Kirk Deichman, what a name.
Deichman. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
No, I think that's how you say it. Very Hawaiian guy, local guy, great energy, great knowledge, great enthusiasm. You can tell he loves his job, you know. Makai Watch, basically part of DoCare, the enforcement branch of DLNR. And they're working with different community groups to be the eyes and ears on the ground to help with the DLNR enforcement that needs to happen, right? We saw some interesting pictures about with the community at work on the ground. The one picture that really caught my eye was this huge trap, opu trap made out of fencing, and it was shoved in the water on federal property, and then where they're illegally trapping o'upu. And my main thing was, is this something somebody walking along the coast would see? And they said maybe. And so absolutely, if you see anything like that, just call it in. You know, they even gave out their number from the DLNR, the DoCare. Chris Gandeza, right, was the person here on.
Yeah.
And that's 274-3521, 274-3521, and they have a DLNR tip app which you can get from the Apple and Google Play Store as well.
I really wanted to talk about the tip app because I didn't know about it until today, and I know there's many of us out there that we see, and not that we want to squeal, folks. I'm not a squealer, I'm not a rat, but when you see people shoving a trap into a crevice in the beach that is not only wrong, but it's unsafe and it creates a danger to other beachgoers or people that are exploring up our rivers, or you should send it in the tip line. And many times in the places that these things occur, you don't have phone service, but you can just take a picture, and then, you know, these smartphones are smart. When you take a picture, it puts in the coordinates of where that picture was taken, and you can simply send that over to the tip line and have our investigators go out and check it out. But the one thing that I enjoyed most about the presentation was the fact that it's really community-based. It's volunteers. They are connected to a nonprofit out there on the North Shore in Honolulu, but but it's out there to pretty much educate and inform our people, beachgoers, fishermen, ocean users about the right thing to do, the pono thing to do. And I was really impressed with how that is being done. My favorite picture in there was the O'opu fishermen. I know Makala tried to convince us that it was tilapia, but those guys are all. It was the plantation people back in the day. After the big rains would come down, we all know this. If you've been here for any length of time, this would look familiar. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Yeah. You remember those days? It was whenever they had a big rain, all of the guys would go up and get their long bamboo poles and catch the o'opu. And I guess some may have been catching tilapia. I don't actually recall that, but you don't see that no more. But it's great to reminisce about those times. But the o'opu is a very expensive fish. So what we learned today was these guys are going up and trapping them and in large amounts using those traps and then trading them for drugs. What has Kauaʻi come to? So anyway, you can search up the Deal in Our Tip app on your phone.
And Maka'ala Kauaʻi told us about the Hanalei watershed hui and how they've basically been officially the Makai Watch there on the North Shore since like 2005, but they've been doing this stewardship work for a long time, even before that. So mahalo to everyone out there helping take care of our aina.
And then we had a very special luncheon today. One of our staff members, Lori Chow, aka LC, is retiring and leaving us after almost 20 years of service, and it was bittersweet because while we are happy that she is going to retire and spend time with her family and grandkids and all of that, it is horrible for us who's going to lose her. She's an amazing worker. So LC, congratulations.
Yes.
And
love you and wish you all the best.
Absolutely.
Gonna do great.
Gonna miss you.
With all her mo'opuna.
I know.
Grandkids.
Guys, you guys can watch our council meetings live on www.kauaʻi.gov. Just click on the webcast meetings button, or of course on Hōʻike channel 53. And you guys can watch the whole meeting in length. And I gotta tell you, you're not gonna be disappointed. All right, guys, until next time.
Aloha.
Aloha. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.